Guys, today we're going to check out the bees and do a split on one of these hives that is just covered up with bees. They got so many bees that they're pushing a lot of them outside to be on the limbs there. Get out here, you. Anyway, they've got so many bees piled up on the outside that they're finding it hard to keep the hive regulated on temperature, so they're pushing a lot of their bees outside. And so I'm going to show you how I do the split, and let's go ahead and get started. I think they're a little bit hot with this insulation still on them. The rest of the hives aren't doing that, but this hive here is pretty packed. They're even hanging on to the back corner back here and down on the bottom down there. I'm going to split them, put them in this 5-frame nuke, because I know they're too packed in there, and I might even split them a second time, but we're going to thin them out just a little bit this evening. Here's what I'm going to do on this side. Just use my scraper tool and kind of break them loose, all down in there. It's working all right. Since I can't get the box all the way over here because of that bolt right there, I'll just hand scoop these gals. Just kind of give them a little gentle lift. Put that in there. Come on, gals. Yeah, got a few stingers in there. Or one stinger, it looks like. And the rest of these we'll just scrape off of here. Down in there. I don't think they're very happy about it, but that'll work. Activity there. Got some bees back there. We'll get them all in this box. Alright, after pulling the top off, that box is packed. And here the top is back. We're just gonna give these girls a new home here. Alright, we'll do some digging around in here and see what things are looking like. Okay, here's a frame I pulled out. Got a lot of brood on it. Alright, now on this frame, I am seeing a good bit of brood. A circular pattern. I'm seeing some queen cups. Come on, focus camera. Some queen cups there. Queen cups, basically, they put an egg inside there and feed a special kind of food, and it transforms the larva into a queen bee. I don't know if there's an egg in there or not. It's hard to see, but that's what those are for. And once the larva starts to develop, they will cap it into something that looks like this behemoth. This big tall thing. And you see how that's capped off completely. So there is a queen larva growing in there. And that's what you call a queen cell. So we have a queen cell on this frame. Alright, so I've went through this box completely, and I cannot find the queen. That doesn't mean she's not in there, that just means sometimes they're hard to locate. So it's possible, since I saw the queen cell, that they may have swarmed already, but as packed as this box is, I'm kind of doubting that, but not out of the question. Anyway, I'm doing a little split here into this nuke. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking 2 frames from here and moving into there. And inside this box, I have frames that look like this. They're just blank with a comb. So the bees can immediately start using this and storing resources, or having babies, or whatever you want to do. So out of this box, I'm taking the 1 frame that has the queen cell on it, and sticking it in here. And I've got the empty comb, and another empty comb. So I want to stick 1 more frame in here that has brood and some resources on it. And I'll show you one of these empty combs, since I put the bees in here. They're hanging all over it. So there. They seem happy in that box. I think they'll be able to get off to a good start here. Now that I know of, there's not a queen in that box, unless she's mixed in there in a pile somehow. So they'll have to let that queen cell hatch out and build their own queen. Shouldn't be a problem, but I'm going to use this frame right down here. And as you can see, it's loaded up with brood on both sides and some honey and stuff. So everything they need. So they should be able to get going real easy with this setup. We'll just slide that down in here. That's a good bit of bees in that box, so we're not going to leave them in here too awful long. We're going to let them grow a little bit, and then we're going to come and move them up into a full-size hive. But for now, they're going to live in that. Now, I didn't see a lot of pollen in there, so I'm going to put this pollen substitute that they haven't finished off right on top here, so that they can use that if need be. All right, so now that I pulled 2 frames out of here, I've added 1 frame with just comb on it, and I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. So just make a little gap here. What's that, girls? Just gotta push that over both sides. I usually use a tripod for this, but today I just handhold. So empty comb here, and if there's a queen in this box, she can start right away using this extra space to grow the hive bigger. I've had problems out here in the past with hive beetles. So I want to make sure I put my traps back in there. And also these little square traps. Keep those in here too. Alright, girls, clear out here. Wish I had that smoke over there. Alright, just like that. Now on top of things, I'm going to add an extra box to this hive because they are plumb out of room. In the past, I have ran what's called a deep. This is a deep box. It has deep frames in it that go all the way down. I've ran 2 deeps to make a full hive. But from here on out, I think what I'm going to do is use a deep and a medium, because it's an awful lot of work to dig through 2 deeps, and they get pretty heavy when they're full of honey. So I'm going to add this medium box. Let me get it on here and I'll show you. All right, so just like that, medium will sit on top, and this gives them plenty of room to build and stuff. This comb here is just empty, stuff that they can start using right away. Now this isn't going to be a honey super. There's no queen excluder on here to keep the queen out. In a honey super, you would want to put a queen excluder on, keeps the queen from going up and laying eggs in your honey. So she'll be able to come up here and use this extra space, and hopefully that will discourage as much swarming as possible. Now I didn't cut all the queen cells out of there because I didn't see the queen, so I don't know if they're queen right, and I don't want to take all their opportunities to make a queen. And I also looked for eggs to see if they had enough eggs early enough eggs to make a queen. And it's evening time out here, the sun's setting, and I just cannot see the eggs through my veil, so I'll have to come back later and look at that, but we'll readdress it later. So if there's queen cells in here, then when the queens hatch, they're gonna have an issue to deal with there. So anyway, I'll come back, readdress that, but right now I'm gonna set them up like this, and they'll go a couple days in this configuration. All right, so we're gonna set this new split up right over here, and it came from the hive on the end down there. So furthest over that I've got, and wide open spaces. Next thing to do is button them up for the evening. Got the inner cover. And then the outer cover. Now the outer cover on these nukes actually will cover up the top hole. I've pulled it out a little bit so they still have space. They can go down, kind of like you see that one bee peeking out there. But I have built little screen air boards, I guess you would call it, ventilation boards, to go on top for these. I just don't have one with me today. I'll be bringing that out here and adding it to them. So that's the setup. I think we've alleviated some of their issue, but they still need a little bit more done to them. And I'm gonna have to look into this hive also. So there you have it. Basically did a little split today, and check the hive out and see how things were going. So they're looking good, and we'll be back to visit them here in a week or so.